act on your part?
No.
This part 5, Honorable Cabinet Secretary, what is the title, number 44 of the statute you're reading? What is the title of the statute? The heading of that chapter of the statute, what is the?
Part 4?
Yes, part 5.
Internal organization of procuring entities.
So, this part as in section 44 you confirm which you just read on the role of accounting officers. Correct or incorrect?
Correct.
It has a section 45 on corporate decisions and segregation of responsibilities.
Yes.
It also has a section 46 on the field of it as part of the segregation of responsibilities, a body called an evaluation committee.
Yes.
Were you ever part of the evaluation committee that processed these tenders?
No.
Okay. The next section is 47 about the procurement function. Please read 47.1.
A procurement function shall be handled by procurement professionals whose qualifications are recognized in Kenya.
So it says all procurement functions must be handled by procurement professionals.
Yes.
Are you a procurement professional?
No.
It has a 48 on an inspection and acceptance committee. Correct or incorrect?
Correct.
Were you, sir, part of the inspection and the acceptance committee for the procurement of the fertilizer in question?
I was not.
It has a section 49 on procuring agencies. And yesterday we were showing some agency agreements. It talks of sector-specific procurement agencies. Were you an agent in any procurement of the NCPB?
No.
It talks of consortium buying. Were you involved in any aspect of consortium buying?
No.
So that we don't spend too much time, Honorable Minister, we have this chapter that is heading at just the next section, which I haven't shown you about transfer of responsibility. In that structure, those are not my words, corporate segregation of responsibilities. Do we have any role? We have seen evaluation committees, we've seen agents, we've seen accounting officers, and many other things. Have we seen, can we see anywhere in that chapter of the Procurement Act a role for the Cabinet Secretary?
Not at all.
Sir, in number B, you are accused of, that is page 3, Honorable Chair, of gross violation of Article 46, and the words used through and through is that it appears, Honorable Linturi. The allegation is looking at you, the moment form the impression. 1B, Roman 1.
This document doesn't appear to have a B.
That would be page 3.
There's Roman 2, Roman 3.
No, there's Roman 1, 2, and 3.
Yes.
Okay. I think we are running into that problem here of tribulation and whatnot, but it's okay, it's not a major issue. We'll get that shortly. Until, because I said the refraction errors, I plan to dedicate 1 hour to Mr. Marida so the committee can warn me once we reach 3 hours, then Marida can do 1 hour. Have you found it in the mirror?
Yes.
It is said there that it appears you have committed. And my question to you, the allegation is that it appears. Can you see that word appears?
Yes.
To the best of your knowledge, sir, can we just look at people and based on how they appear, we conclude they are grossly violating the Constitution?
It's not possible.
If I look at you and I don't like your face, would that be a valid ground for saying it appears this person has committed a gross violation?
No.
To the best of your knowledge, sir, this allegation of appears, repeated 10 times in this motion, as the mover disclosed, these days is able to see with his eyes that we all can't see. As this showed how it appears that we have committed the gross violation of the Constitution. I'll rephrase. Let's stick to B for now. You are accused of violating consumer rights to the right of goods and services of reasonable quality and protection of their health, safety, and economic interests. Are you a distributor of any goods that are at the inquiry before this committee?
No, I'm not.
Are you a manufacturer of any of the goods that are the inquiry?
No.
But the Honorable Linturi, do your duties as Cabinet Secretary extend to testing goods so that you show they are the right quality? Is that your duty as Cabinet Secretary?
No.
As a matter of fact, Honorable Linturi, do you even have the qualifications that would enable you to know this is fake fertilizer and this is genuine fertilizer?
I don't.
Would I be right therefore to say, as Cabinet Secretary, you are wholly dependent on the advice and judgment of independent agencies of state on this matter?
Correct.
In paragraph C, it says, again you appear to have violated Article 73. What is your response?
I have not.
Has any material to the best of your knowledge been placed before this committee to show how you were supposed to have violated this article?
None.
Let's go to graph 1B. Alleged violation of Article 201. Sir, what is your response to this?
I am not, or I did not violate Article 201. No.
As a matter of fact, Honorable Cabinet Secretary, you having no role as per the statute, Is it possible for a person who by law has no business being involved to violate that article in a procurement context?
No.
Let's go to ground 1E. And I want you to be shown article 152.5. Can you read that 152.5A?
Article 5, 1A reads as follows. The President may reassign a Cabinet Secretary, may dismiss a Cabinet Secretary. Do I continue to see?
Yes.
Shall dismiss a Cabinet Secretary if required to do so by resolution adopted under clause 6 to 10.
So at page 5 of the motion, ground number E, the allegation is that you have breached a constitutional provision that speaks to the powers of the President. What is your response to that, sir?
It's very ridiculous, and that allegation can only be leveled against the President, and it is not possible for me to exercise presidential powers that I'm being alleged to have breached this section, this particular part of the Constitution.
It is also alleged in the same allegation, sir, that you breached paragraph 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 of the same article. Are those articles, let's assume for argument, Honorable Linturi, that you are as bad as you can possibly be. Would you be capable even as the bad guy of breaching those constitutional provisions?
It's not possible.
It is not possible. It is said, sir, that how you breached this constitutional provision, still on page 5, is that you sent a communication to the Department of Agriculture and Livestock, correct?
Yes.
To the best of your knowledge, has that committee completed its work?
It hasn't.
It hasn't. Is the move of this motion a member of that committee?
No, he isn't.
Would you agree with me, sir, that only that committee by resolution can accuse you of misleading it?
Correct. I can only be accused through that committee unless if the standing orders have changed. But when I was here, the standing orders required the committee to table its report, debated by Parliament, adopted by Parliament, and that is when you can comfortably say Parliament has taken a position on a matter of allegations, therefore have been ratified by Parliament. So at this stage you can't.
You can't. But it is also said this matter you are alleged to have lied with relates to GPC, the Almighty Industries. What is the date given of the agreement in question as per that motion?
That the 1st of March 2022.
Now, when you read Roman 1, it says that the Cabinet Secretary appears to have done this when you like. Were you the Cabinet Secretary on the 1st of March 2022?
I was not.
You were not.
Yes.
But you have also been accused of lying to that committee on agriculture that this product is a soil conditioner. Has the mover of this motion placed any material to show that that project was anything other than a soil conditioning? Is there evidence before the committee to show that GPC, the information, is not a soil conditioning?
There isn't any evidence that has been tabled before the committee to the contrary.
You have, again on Roman 2 of ground is, you are accused of overseeing the implementation of the budgets of the LCPB. As the Cabinet Secretary for Agriculture, do your duties extend to overseeing the implementation of the budgets of the LCPB?
No.
Are you the controller of budgets, sir?
No.
And are you the accounting officer of the LCPB?
I'm not.
Are you the auditor general?
No.
Let's go to allegation number 2. On page 6. The claim there, sir, the first claim was about your looks. That when we look at you, the one we have just exhausted, Honorable Linturi, was that you appear to be a crook. The allegation appears. Here now, the allegation is there are serious reasons, not just reasons, for believing that you have committed crimes that are a thing of court. What is your response, sir?
I have not.
In 2A, they cite a letter by Ahmed Nasir. To the best of your knowledge, has Ahmed Nasir come to testify against you?
No.
But Honorable Linturi, lawyers write letters every day on behalf of their clients. To the best of your knowledge, would the lawyer's letter without more be a good reason to dismiss the Cabinet Secretary from office?
It can't. It can't form basis.
As a matter of fact, in this litigious and controversial country of ours, are you aware of any Cabinet Secretary who has never been the subject of a remand letter by some lawyer?
I'm yet to get in.
So, would any Cabinet Secretary survive in office if the threshold for removal was that some lawyer, whether evident or not, wrote some letter?
Not only Cabinet Secretaries, anyone holding public office will have a problem.
They would never survive if the test was some lawyer.
Correct.
Not even if the lawyer is very famous and eminent.
It is not possible.
Okay.
Can't be around.
It is said, sir, that in this letter by Ahmed Nasir, you tried to intimidate a Mr. Davesh of Kel's Chemicals. To the best of your knowledge, we sat here yesterday. Have you seen any affidavit by Mr. Davesh of Kel's Chemicals swearing that you intimidated him?
I haven't.
Did he come to the committee to testify to these alleged threats?
No. Unless he is the person the committee being asked for.
Are you aware, sir, of anything that may have hindered Mr. Davesh from coming to this committee and say these things that his eminent lawyer says?
No.
You are also accused there on page 6 of ordering the closure of factories. Do your duties as cabinet secretary extend to opening and closing factories?
No.
But as a matter of fact, the Honorable Linturi, you and I have read this motion and you know how many times. Have we seen any evidence of you closing a factory?
No.
Let's go to page 7. Roman 1 at the top. The accusation there is the conduct of one Franklin Medical Linturi acting, quote unquote, honorable chair, acting in his role as the cabinet secretary. Then they cite a decision by the High Court, Honorable Lady Justice Omundi of 30th November 2021. Were you the cabinet secretary for agriculture? Because the allegation is whatever you seem to have done, you are doing a quote unquote acting in your role as the cabinet secretary. Were you the cabinet secretary for agriculture as of the date of this judgment?
No.
It is said in that same allegation, sir, that the Honorable Lady Justice Omundi ruled against you on these family, criminal, civil, and commercial disputes. Is that correct?
No, it's not correct.
Is it dispute, sir, one of those that were yesterday called love and affection disputes? This petition number E068, the subject of the ruling mentioned there.
Unfortunately, it is.
It is. And of course, we were told there were 32 levels.
Yes.
What do you want to tell this tribunal about these 32 love and affection disputes?
One thing is that I have a conscience, and I'm always very faithful to my conscience, and that is why I meant full disclosure without being prompted. Even when I went before Committee of Parliament during my vetting, because I had nothing to hide, and I wanted the country to understand, to know Linturi and the kind of tribulations that he had to undergo to get to that position, or to get where we were at that time, so that in the future, even if they are brought out, then it's on record that I volunteered that information because there was nothing to hide, because there was a statement of fact that these cases were there. But most importantly, members of the committee, that all these cases revolve around parties or around an individual that unfortunately we are friends, and for whatever reason that may not even be very material, these proceedings, then that relationship will not hold, and out of our own volition decided to bring so many cases which I had to defend. And out of the few selected cases here, there is none that I lost. There is even a very interesting case, which is also was mentioned, but whose light we did not even send, which also very appears interesting. And it was case number 74. where I was even being sued to take responsibility of children who are not mine. So all these cases revolve around that kind of disagreement, and I just the members of the committee want to really allow me to state them as that, because it has been a very painful experience. This one, when I start thinking about it, makes me break.
No, a mere man is not allowed to break in public, Honorable Linturi. Just tell the committee, you mentioned tribulations you have undergone because of these personal disputes. Can you please shed more light on those tribulations? Who was the author of those tribulations? How long did they last? And what format did they take?
Members of the committee, I think
Wanna see us be a bit louder?
just like you mentioned yesterday, you know, we end a 5-year or 6-year running battles with the former administration, and especially people that were believed to belong to a certain side or to a certain team that was in support of a presidential candidate. Remember, we were tagged as Tanga Tanga, and it appeared that I was one of them. And during this time, so many things were done to me, because I was conned, I was talked to, I was intimidated, and all sorts of tricks were used to coerce me not to believe in the candidature or in the person that I was supporting. And because these cases, or that was almost the beginning of these cases, that administration or the leaders then decided to take advantage of that situation and latched on them, and I became a victim of serious persecution, including the interfering with even, you know, business that really did not even concern this. It was not a very easy a period for me, and I think it's also common in knowledge, because I've been trained in the media forever, and people do not care whether you have a child. Internet does not forget. I was painted as a person. Even a rape case was a choreographer. And let me finish, because it reminds me of those very bad memories. Because at time it took the intervention of Parliament itself. Because I was arrested when we were seriously even debating very serious bills in the Senate, and a decision was to be made, and numbers really counted, and to be arrested so that I did not participate, even vote for what was on the floor, and took the magnanimity of Parliament or the Senate to suspend the sittings of Parliament so that I wouldn't be produced before the Senate because of what was happening. Chair, members of this committee, that is just one of them. I mentioned it yesterday. And this has never happened in the history. In history anywhere, I'm yet to find where you find divorce matters being conducted in public. There is a reason why they are never done, but all these media stations here threaten the country to a comment about a marriage and divorce for a marriage that never existed. The judgments are here. It was all comedy, it was all persecution. Members of the committees, I was kicked out because of the support of that administration from my own house, for 6 years. House had spent money to build, and I could not. People are given protection to occupy my house forcefully because is nothing we could do. But the only mistake we had done was to support a candidate for president who did not find favor with that administration. So, members of the committee, when I look at this thing and the story, even after appearing before this committee and explaining myself, volunteering information, and you remember yesterday, the mover of the motion who is here, and the audacity to tell me, ukiachwa achika. You know what that means, niachwe niachike, but that should show you, Chair, and members of this committee, that this matter has not been that easy. I am not following up on anything, but the question I'm asking myself, or any other man here, or any other good lead here, because today people have relationships, they may not work. To what extent can you completely push them? If the courts have determined these matters that are being canvassed here, or in support of this motion, the rulings and judgments are in my favor. And considering the nature of these cases, the evidence, some of them getting this type of evidence, must tell you, you really need to be close to someone who knows about these cases, so that it becomes easy for you to look for any relevant material that can support you. So what I am saying, Chair, is that it is unfortunate, but because these issues have been raised here, I have to really mention them. It will not be my wish, because maybe probably my children are watching the father there. And it's a very trying moment. And some things we leave to God, because there is nothing much we can do. But when we are faced with such situations, and because we must also clear ourselves, we must speak on these matters. So that is what, and I really respectfully support women. I am one because I have daughters. My mother herself, I think my mother is a woman who prays for me every time. I may not be a person who goes to church every time, but I think the strength that I have to face such situations are prayers from my mother. Were it not for my mother, I would not be here where I am. I have no reason to disrespect women, and probably those women that have interacted with me properly, without really taking advantage of me, know the kind of a person who I am. Because I have never disrespected women. I really love women because I know this country can't be what it is without women. I am a believer in the empowerment of women at a personal level.
Now, Honorable Linturi, just so that we make progress, because it's easy to get stuck on this matter, tell the committee how it felt to be accused on TV headlines, newspaper headlines, falsely as a rapist. This is a brief answer. How did they feel as a father, as an honorable member of parliament, to be subjected to TV, camera screens, newspaper headlines that you were a rapist?
Chair, there cannot be another embarrassing situation like finding yourself
Honorable
on
CS.
TV.
Honorable CS, Senior Counsel, have a point of order? Or?
Well, my lady, you have to guide us. The committee has to guide us to what extent we can be involved in matters of relationship of the cabinet secretary with a specific woman or with women.
Your Honor, it is my case. I told you yesterday, I have really refrained from engaging my senior on these interjections. It is my case. If the way I do it doesn't persuade the tribunal, if I'm delving on irrelevancies, it is my risk. He's a learned counsel, very eminent learned counsel. He knows, and he knows what he's doing is not right. Let me be protected to prosecute my case. If I fail, I have previously failed in many other cases. This will just be another.
Thank you, Counsel. Senior Counsel, you know very well that the CS it is quite clear that under allegation number 2, I believe, Honorable Wamboka brought out that under his motion, and so when they are covering that, it is, I think, in response to that. Again, you will get your time to re-examine, the cross-examine. So just wait for your time to come so that you can prosecute the matter further. But for the time being, let us progress so that we don't interfere. Thank you.
And Honorable Linturi, let's keep the answers brief because, like I said yesterday, Chair, I appreciate the difficulties of navigating this area. Honorable Linturi, how did it feel to be accused for 5 years non-stop of being a fraudster and a man who forges documents, obtains credit using stolen title deeds, and all the other things listed in Ground 2?
The Chairman, it's not the space that you would want to find yourself in, but it really takes you when you are accused of such.